Welcome back, everybody, to Bay City Chronicles. We've got 5/6 of the gang all here. We are missing one. We're not sure exactly what's happening, but we're pretty sure the one we're missing is chasing after some random Karen in a pharmacy right now. But anyway, aside from that, we do have most of us here, and we are doing something a little bit different than we normally do, and this is going to become a little something that we're going to be doing more frequently. It's going to become a fixture here on the channel. We're diving away from the superhero side of things here on Bay City Chronicles, and we are jumping into the worlds of high fantasy. That's right, we are jumping into some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. A couple of weeks ago, we did do our session 0 here, where we discussed the basic concept of what the world we were going to be in was, what it was called, and we did some characters. We built some characters. So if you want to have a little bit of a preview of what's going on in that, go ahead and watch that, but do it after you're done watching this one, at least if you're watching it live. If you're watching this on YouTube, pause this, go watch the session 0, then come back. We'll wait. Waiting? All right, good. We're done waiting. Okay, good. So as it is, I am your Dungeon Master, TGE, and with me today, we have got... I'm not going to do any character introductions right now because we're going to get to that in the game. But with me today, I do have Chameleon Ice, Crimson Avix, Norestra, and OPT Lawyer. We will get into characters here in a minute, but first, welcome everybody to the world of Legaria, a world where tournaments are held to marry princesses, a river runs throughout the world, and a new adventure is about to begin. So come along and join us, everyone. This is going to be session 1 or episode 1. Let the games begin. So where we are going to start, as you guys can see, you have the royal symbol of Legaria on your screens. Where we're going to start, though, is not there. We're going to start here with an overhead view of the walled city of Eaglesguard. The castle city of Eaglesguard is immense. The stone-worked walls that provide protection to everything within stand tall as a sign of protection to the city, as the spires from the watchtower gleam majestically in the autumn sun. The constant clack of the soldiers doing rounds on the battlements provides a comforting background noise to those who find themselves near the walls of this majestic city. A city which is even more lively now with the start of the Royal Games coming soon. From the market district to the church district to everywhere in between, the yells of excited children can be heard over the sounds of peddlers from all around Legaria trying to sell their goods. There are potent potables from far-off places, exotic foods covered with all manner of spices and breadings, and trinkets and knickknacks to commemorate the occasion. Weary travelers become easy marks as pickpockets and scoundrels alike are also flocking to the city in hopes of making an easy buck. Even the normally stuffy nobles are out and about enjoying the festivities, even if they only do stay in the upper-class noble district. Lodging is hard to come by in the city as rooms are all booked up even at the most seedy of establishments. The amount of guests sleeping in the streets at all times of the day is extravagant, and the City Watch does their best to keep them in the alleys out of the view of the public. As we look around the city, we're going to zoom in to a small little ramshackle stall that's been set up in the Bash, which is basically the slums of the city. As we zoom into this stall, we see it's this ramshackle stall with, vials and beakers and baubles everywhere. And behind it stands this, Nora, why don't you describe your character, what they look like, and what their name is?
Oh, you would see Hafiz, also known as Ponzi, who, as you can see on the Roll20 screen down here, is a gnome. Specifically a rock gnome, but about 3-4 feet tall, wearing a trench coat, shuffling about, messing with potions and spells. He's got the pointy ears, not necessarily green skin, but kind of that off off-human color, for lack of a better way to describe it. Not yellow, but like in between yellow and normal human skin. And
So you look jaundiced.
a little bit, yeah. And he's got those genie-style boots.
Ooh. So, Ponzi, it's your first night here in the city. You've arrived early to try and get as many sales as possible, but even so, you found yourself here in the Bash. It's not the best district, but for someone with your reputation, it's probably the best place to be. And getting here early for sales is probably the best option because, as you know, it'll be easier to slip away amongst the crowd later. You also arrived here early because you had a special request come into you before you got here. As you were traveling, you have a reputation for being able to acquire some rarer reagents than most. And a letter came to you with a prepayment asking you to bring a very particular item with you. And as you're getting ready to close up shop for the night, you see this small woman, or you assume she's a woman, but small figure in a cloak come up to your stall. Very much akin to like the old woman from Beauty and the Beast, if you know what I'm talking about. And she comes up to you and just looks, "Ooh, what do we have here in all of this lovely shop?"
Hi, ma'am. How you doing? We've got potions and potions and potions!
Well, I'm not looking for potions. I'm looking for something a little more exotic. I was told you might have it.
Exotic. For $9.99, I've got one of these! I got no clue what it does!
You reach into your pocket and you hold up what is clearly an egg mold for making fried egg sandwiches.
You can if you take this chicken egg, see, look, it stays in the center. It's awesome.
Well, that's awesome, and you might be able to find some use for that at one of the inns and pubs establishment in the city, but I'm looking for something more mysterious. Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Mysterious, you say?
I don't know. Those things are pretty mysterious.
Nobody knows how they work.
I saw this bone in half!
I'm going to have to use Roll20 just because I don't know how to roll my own dice.
What, you can't grab a d20 and add your insight score to it?
Oh, that's all I need to do? Okay.
Yes!
So 13 and that's 6.
Okay. You know very well this is the person who sent you the letter, and when she says a mysterious thing, she's specifically looking for Mysteria pollen.
You're looking for it. I don't know that I have any.
That would be disappointing, considering you were asked to bring it.
Hold on. And Ponzi's going to open his bag of holding and start rummaging around in it.
For the record, I see the faces that the party is making. Artificers have an ability where they can touch mundane items and make them magical. One of the things you can make is a bag of holding.
Jello shots.
Ooh, what flavor?
Salisbury.
I was hoping for lemon.
Oh, here. Oh, hold on a second. Just because I can do it, I'm going to use my alchemy jug to pour a lemon jello shot.
It's not normally one of the things. Normally it's just beer, but I'm going to allow it just because it's absolutely stupid. So you pour this little cloaked woman a lemon jello shot. Do you do one with her?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To business.
To business. And she is clearly a pro because she just and just cup down, looks at you like waiting for you to choke down the lemon jello shot. What's
Yes.
the matter, Sonny? Don't like this old lady beating you drinking?
Ponzi pulls out the 5 that are already in the back. No, I've already started.
She opens her cloak and shows you 6. So have I.
So I guess, GM question here. Do I actually have the item on me or not?
Yes, this is the item you were requested.
No.
Yes, no, this was what you were requested to bring. You absolutely have this.
Wait. I know where it is. There it is.
Excellent. You've already got the payment that was sent with the letter. I thank you very much.
Yep, here you go. Pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you. What did you say your name was again? Patrick?
Puffin. Puffins.
Puffins. All right, thank you very much, Puffins.
It's fine.
And she waddles off. Just switch pages again here. For the most part, that's pretty much the first night. The next couple of days go pretty much without too many incidents. Do me a quick favor and just roll me a d20 to see how many potions you sell.
We got a 20.
You sold out. You crit and you sold out of potions.
You rolled a 20.
I am
What?
Well, this just justifies the starting cash.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you sold within 2 days. You are sold out. So as you are, just throughout the couple of days, as the tournament is starting, go ahead and just what's your wisdom bonus, I should say, or what's your perception bonus? Let me ask you that question.
Perception's a 4.
All right, so your passive perception is 14. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
7.
7. So you don't get garner too much, but with your passive perception throughout the day, you're able to sort of piece together some interesting information. Most of what you hear throughout your gathering of information is excitement about the games and the fights, and rumors about different fighters and which noble they may or may not belong to. But the one thing that catches your ears more than that is a couple of city guards walk by. And they heard rumors that several lower tier fighters have been going missing recently. And no one's quite sure why or what is happening to them. Most of them have been missing from the merchant district. But do me a favor, as they're talking about going missing and disappearing and all that, roll me another insight check.
12.
Okay. And I'm actually going to add I believe as an artificer, don't you get bonuses when dealing with either way? No, you wouldn't. It's me not knowing the full artificer stuff here. There's too many things here. As you think about it, it didn't cross your mind at first because you made a lot of money off it, but the woman who picked up the Mysteria pawn a couple days ago, she asked for your name. You never give out your name. And with that insight check, you realize something. You realize that the substance you brought her, if mixed with a couple other highly illegal reagents, can probably produce some sort of absolutely insane paralytic or the like. And with that insight check, with a 12, and the fact that she knows your name, you're pretty sure if whoever's doing it, if they find them and they could trace this back to you.
all at this point. Gotta go, guys. Gotta, last horse out.
Yeah, so that's just what you hear from the city guards and what you're able to figure out. So what do you do with that information?
Packing up shop and leaving.
Leaving where? Leaving the bash?
Yes.
Yeah. You know that a merchant leaving town this early will attract attention. So you know that's probably not the best idea. You can certainly try, but...
Well, sold out.
But you did overhear them saying that they were disappearing in the merchant district.
Is there a alchemy store or place where I could go to re-up on my supplies so I can continue selling?
Oh, 100% in the merchant district. I mean, that one kind of wrote itself. You kind of walked into that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm headed to there to restock, to make potions to sell.
So you make your way over to the merchant district, and as that happens, we're going to zoom out from you and zoom back in. This time we're going to zoom into a slightly different overlay because we can use this one for it.
Oh.
Yes. The cheers from the Greyhawk Coliseum can be heard echoing throughout the Arts District. Preliminary matches in the tournament are being held for those who do not have the backing of the nobility. As the cheers from the Coliseum echo throughout the windows of this room, it makes it harder and harder to concentrate and any sort of potential cataloging from where you sit in the library near the edge of the Arts District. Llewellyn, your faithful book, has somehow managed to manifest a small dagger and is parrying back and forth, fighting a piece of paper blowing in the wind. Normally, Lou isn't this excited for battle and violence, but this tournament has him all in a tizzy. Either way, Chloe, will you please describe your character?
Alrighty, I am playing Chloe Vesper, and she's a young human girl of surprisingly tall stature for a human woman. And she is wearing what's kind of typical, like, student wizardy robes. She looks like she walked basically right out of a school, carrying like her different scrolls, and she carries a big book with her, which currently is fighting a piece of paper, as well as like a number of other small scrolls and another notebook that she actually is constantly kind of keeping notes in as she's kind of looking between Lou and...
Back, you foul paper! Back!
Lou, calm down.
But if and the paper flows, and he falls over flat, opens his book up like to his pages, and he's like, "Wah."
Did you lose?
Only because you distracted me, madam.
You'll win next time.
Well, maybe if you wouldn't distract me.
I'll try not to distract you in the future.
And then through this, you hear the following. You hear a voice that you recognize on the wind. Like, you totally can't be serious. Did your book just lose to a piece of paper on the wind? You recognize the voice almost immediately. This is your elvish acquaintance from school, Mirwina. And I have heart.
So I can hear her voice in the wind, or is she actually there? Because
hear her. Do you turn around and look up from your book?
Yes, I do.
Oh, she's right there.
I pick up Llewellyn, and I'm immediately put him back on my lap as I go back to writing my notes. As I'm quietly concocting schemes for making her somehow lose all of her hair.
Like, are you seriously going to just ignore me like that? Typical like short-sighted human, probably trying to figure out how best to blow this place up.
What are you doing here anyway?
What am I doing here? I'm here to enjoy the games. Like, my parents got me the best tickets. You know, it's one of those things that having money can do for you.
Of course they did.
I mean, you should be happy to be allowed in town and have a spot here.
I'm doing a project.
Yes, a project. I'm surprised they even let you in. I mean, why would anyone of noble birth want to talk to any of the common rabble like you?
Let's just enjoy the violence that's going to be taking place in front of us. I'm sure you'll love it too. Why are you here anyway if you are complaining about violence in the first place? This is a fighting tournament.
Yeah, it's, have you seen how hot some of the fighters are?
Of course you care about that.
I mean, I love a man in armor.
Well, then look at them instead of me.
I mean, I'm trying to, but your ugly kind of takes up the entire room.
It's outside. We're not in a room.
Exactly my point. I mean, maybe if you want to catalog something so much and you want to, like, maybe, like, I've heard this rumor going around that might be able to help you a little bit. So, like, I heard that the prince was, like, gallivanting throughout town, like, in the merchant district, like, looking at things. And, like, I don't know why someone of his birth would want to gallivant with the common rabble, but maybe if you make your way over there, you can, like, talk to him and maybe, you know, be a bit less common.
What's the prince doing in town?
Are you seriously that dumb? Like, this whole tournament is to find who's going to marry his sister.
But why isn't he, like, protected and sitting up in the stand or sitting somewhere more, I don't know, secluded is what I would assume.
Roll me a history check.
Will do. I wasn't ready for the picture.
I told you I had picture.
You did. Okay. So I take the first row, right?
Yep. You, why the prince out? You know that there are. You have spent time in the city of Argenti, so you know a good portion about the royal family. You know that the prince, that Prince Alwyn, is just recently come of age where he can become part of the Queen's Guard, and is very much a want to go explore and let the people know who he is. He's very much not the typical noble you see. He's very down to earth, wants to get to know the people, and has a tendency to go wandering off. Makes life for his bodyguard absolute hell. But they've come to an accord where it's like, okay, we can go, but let's not do anything stupid. Basically, if you've ever seen the first season of the show Arrow, the prince is Oliver Queen, and the bodyguard is John Diggle.
Oh, I love it already. So that Chloe will roll her eyes as she looks back at Rowena, and she says, "Actually, the prince respects commoners, unlike people who sit on their high chairs like you."
Yeah, let's be honest. He just goes around and talks to you, so y'all won't be mad at him and try and overthrow him, because we all know that's how this place does it. Every 20 years, there's some sort of conflict.
Is that true?
Because that's all you humans do is blow each other up.
I don't see you elves having a wonderful kingdom. Where is it? Oh, it's not here. That's where it is.
Whatever. She flips her hair.
Did I win the argument?
Madam, I believe you did. And as you say this, I need to do this actually.
Whenever you get the Valley Girl to say whatever, then you pretty much have, yes.
Yeah. As Lou goes to speak, you look up to talk to him, and you're distracted for just a moment. And I'm assuming a 22 hits you.
Hits me AC. Well, yeah, there's no different AC. Of course, I'm a wizard.
a firebolt comes and it hits you square in the chest.
Oh, crap. Can I counterspell that?
Do you have counterspell? No, you don't have level 3 spells.
Darn it.
And hits you for 2 damage.
Ah!
I figured I'd do that because that's really the only argument you ever understand.
Did you just throw a spell at me?
Well, if you didn't see it, then I threw nothing. At this point, you look in your lap, and Lou is sitting there with his paper dagger. Let me at her, miss! Let me at her! I'll give her paper cuts to the nose! Let me at her!
She holds Lou back. And she just kind of gets up, dusts herself off. And she walks past Merwina and says, "No, Lou, we're going. And we're going to do something that she can't. We're going to talk to a prince and get him to get an autograph. And also clean ourselves up from this burn, because we are not uncivilized."
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh dear, I need it. How do I do advantage? Do I click it? Or?
You're already set to roll with advantage. You have the 2 numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're already set to roll. Advantage is roll 2 and take the highest.
Roger. Okay, 19. Wowzers.
Yeah. So she just looks at you. Whatever. And just storms off in a huff. You have done enough research to pretty much have a general idea where the merchant district is. So you make your way off there. And we will zoom out again. And we will zoom in this time. And this time we zoom in on the rushing Iriri River. The river that's a source of a lot of power, trade, transportation, everything in Legaria. The major cities in the continent were all built around the river, and Eagle's Guard is no exception. Naturally, this means, of course, that establishments were popping up on the river. We're going to zoom into one such establishment, a rough-looking pub between the Bash and the Merchant District called the Clam Dunk. It was an unsuccessful attempt to cash in on being on the Iriri River while also establishing a vibe of being chill. Now it's mostly just a dive bar that survives on the petty coin of the malcontents and the impoverished. It's also the perfect place for a clandestine meeting with contacts that don't want to be seen. Kira, please describe your character for us and what you're doing inside the Clam Dunk.
So, Kira is how did you pronounce that again? She's a
Lagoose?
Lagoose, thank you. So she looks mostly human. She's got these kind of ears, cat ear kind of things. But other than that, she looks mostly human. She's currently dressed in a whole lot of. Well, is it nighttime outside?
It's not really, no.
Okay, so she wouldn't necessarily be dressed in all black, but she'd be dressed in a lot of basically whatever is the common kind of clothes for the area, because she tries to blend in a whole lot as best she can anyway. She would have her hair kind of tied back in something of a ponytail, because her hair is long. It's long, but it's kept pretty well. But again, not like anything that's going to stand out a lot. So she's got one of those looks that you're going to see, you're going to notice, and then you're probably going to forget.
That makes sense.
So she, at the moment, is, she's looking around.
Yes. It takes a couple of minutes of looking around, but finally your contact arrives, and so you can tell, he's a halfling man who, even though he's wearing a suit, he looks as if he fits right in here. He's being discreet, but not so discreet that you can't recognize it. He sits down across from you and begins to talk in a hushed tone. And before we go anything else, we have Art. Yes. And yes, he is barefoot.
I mean, halfway.
Oh, that means halfway.
So he sits down across from you and looks extremely, extremely nervous. I I really haven't heard too much recently. Most of the talk around everything has just been about this tournament and how that they're planning to win no matter what it takes.
Who's planning to what?
Yeah, the tournament here, the Royal Suitor tournament. Um, it's the tournament to see who is going to uh, who's going to end up marrying Princess Arabella.
This is Bella.
Well, I mean, that's where most of the nobles are gonna end up being here. They're gonna all be watching the tournament, so anyone you really want to get in contact with is pretty much going to be there. Although that does mean most of the estates and houses are going to be empty.
That's a good point, actually. I think I may find out more information if they're not home.
This is just a rumor. I heard it on the way down here. A couple people were talking about it, but I did hear that not all the nobles are going to be at the Colosseum because I've heard that, and he sort of leans in hushed tones, a very high-profile noble has gone missing, and I don't know if you're into this kind of thing, but maybe if you rescue them, you can get a favor or two for what you're looking for.
As much as I'm not a huge fan of nobles, your statement does have merit to it. Who is it?
I can't say, but last I heard, they were enjoying dinner at a place called the Sleepy Cat Inn down in the Merchant District.
The Sleepy Cat Inn?
I don't name the places. I mean, this place is the Clam Dunk. I don't name places.
She actually turns to look at it like, I mean, are you kidding about the name? I mean, you know who you're talking to?
He looks, that's where they went to eat. I'm sorry. Like, he just looks like, no matter what, pardon the pun, he looks like a cat has his tongue.
Right. She just kind of waves her hand like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, Sleepy Cat, kidnapped noble. You don't know his name? You're not telling me his name.
You can tell that he probably knows, but is so nervous that he's not going to tell you he does because he doesn't want to overhear just in case something bad happens and it can get brought back to him. Like, you pretty much, wrung this towel out of all the liquid you're going to get.
Oh, I can't try to intimidate him into giving it to me?
I mean, you could absolutely try to do that. I'm just saying through normal means.
Oh, yeah. So she kind of leans back. Because they're not facing each other, right?
They could be at different tables. They could be talking. It's however you want to have the meeting set up.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, so sitting across from each other. So she kind of leans in, and she looks at him and is like, you know who this person is. Okay, look.
I can't say. I can't say.
You can. Here's the thing. You really, really want to tell me what's going on because I'm not the kind of person that you really want to remember you. I don't tend to remember those who give me information. I do tend to remember those who don't give me information.
Roll that intimidate check. Why do I even bother when you all gonna roll like absolute champs, huh? He looks. I really shouldn't, but he leans back real close, like he's stretching his back. Rumor is it's the prince.
Her eyes kind of widen, but she does not repeat that, and she just kind of sits back and nods. We never had that conversation.
No.
So she stands up.
He
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, please.
She stands up. I assume they had ordered drinks or something like that. So she's going to toss down enough silver pieces to cover both of them, and
All right.
and a nice tip for the waitress or whatever. And she's going to just walk off without saying anything else.
All right. Will do.
And actually, you know what? She's going to toss an extra gold piece, and I'm going to take this out of my... She's going to toss an extra gold piece on the table for him.
He like quickly like scuffles it and like does the whole like
right.
Fight it thing, shuffles it in.
Just to like slightly apologize for the intimidate, but she really wanted to know.
Yeah. Nope. Hey, good rolls will get that.
Mm-hmm. So she's going to turn
So
walk out and start heading in the direction of the Sleepy Cat Inn. Yeah.
Yep, Sleepy Cat Inn Tavern, yep. And with that, we are going to zoom out once more. And as mentioned previously, the cheers from the Greyhawk Coliseum, they can be heard echoing throughout the entire Arts District as the preliminary matches are being held for those who do not have the backing of the nobility. Because this is kind of the tournament for, see who's going to end up being a suitor, Princess Arabella looks on from the royal box as another preliminary match is about to start. On one side of the arena is a rough-looking individual in faded tunic with a dagger in one hand and a short sword in the other. Kind of looks like this. On the other hand, across from him is, well, Kite. Why don't you please describe your character and how you absolutely wiped the floor with this guy in the preliminary round?
So, Kite is a half elf, around 5'10", 5'11", a medium built frame, so not like super bulky or anything else. Definitely not as big as the guy he's going up against. Has a little bit of like medium armor on, but nothing too crazy. He stands with a glaive in his left hand. The glaive does have a slight shimmer from both the blade and a gem stone suspended in the staff itself underneath the glaive. Kite has silver hair and green eyes, which are not common for anyone of this area, even the half-elves that do live in the area. That is because Kite is not from Legaria itself. He's actually from the forest just to the northeast of Legaria's rule, with his clan members, and came down here for various reasons. But the battle starts with this fighter charging Kite with the sword. Kite holds up his glaive, fends off the attack, parries the sword, and kicks the fighter in the chest to push him away. Fighter obviously upset that Kite did this. He charges again, swings his sword over his head down towards Kite. Kite sidesteps him, so the sword lands to his side. But then instead of like just standing back up, the fighter sort of gives Kite a shoulder charge and knocks him back. As he's being knocked back, Kite sort of plants his right foot and jumps forward with his glaive above his head and swings it down at the fighter. But the human actually like punches at Kite as he's landing and actually sends Kite flying maybe about 5 or 6 feet back to the ground. So Kite's sort of laying there in the tournament dust or the Coliseum dust and everything. So Kite sort of rolls over to get up, and as he comes to a knee, he pulls 2 kunai out of the tape around his ankles. The first one misses the fighter, but the second one nails the fighter right below the knee. The fighter, obviously in pain, but doesn't let that stifle him, charges back at Kite, this time pulling out his dagger along with his short sword. He throws the dagger towards Kite and then swings his sword. The sword actually connects with Kite, getting him underneath his right eye, giving him a slash sort of down from his cheekbone down to his cheek, probably about 3 inches long. Blood is coming out of the slash and everything else. The fighter runs away from Kite, sort of to recollect himself, getting ready for another charge. And Kite then stands up and grabs the glaive and sort of gives it a twirl above his head. If you've ever watched Final Fantasy VII, imagine the Cloud Strife Buster Sword twirl. And the gemstone inside of the glaive sort of glimmers and catches the fighter off guard, sort of blinds him momentarily. And as it blinds him, Kite starts charging. The fighter catches the charge coming and pulls out his sword and starts to swing forward to try to catch Kite. Kite rolls, and as he's coming out of his roll, he punches the kunai that is stuck in the fighter's knee, digging it deeper into his knee. The fighter leans forward in agonizing pain. When he does this, Kite gets up, swings the glaive, the blunt end of the glaive, to come down on the back of the fighter's neck, knocking him to the ground, stands over the fighter, and impales the fighter's shoulder with the glaive. The soldier or the fighter at this point screams out in pain and forfeits the tournament. Kite pulls the glaive out of his shoulder, sort of takes his foot, rolls the fighter over, goes and pulls the kunai out of his knee, goes and picks up the other kunai, and then exits the Coliseum underneath the royalty seating area.
As you make your way out of the arena, under that seating section, you're met with a by a pink-haired woman. There we go. Sorry, had to find more art. Kite, if you want to make me a history check to see if you know who this is, you can. Otherwise, we can continue on without you having that knowledge. Not even up where you come from, you know fighters. You tend to know, you have that sort of military respect. You know that this particular person is Beatrix, the princess's personal bodyguard. And she looks at you. Well, that was an impressive match.
The guy was arrogant. It wasn't really that difficult.
I was more talking about the technique with the light and the glaive. But anyway, I can see you're not one for small talk.
I mean, is there really any point to talking about battle technique? I don't know you. I don't know if you're friend or foe.
Well, I hope, friend, considering I was sent down here to fetch you, someone would like to meet you.
And that would be?
That would be...
Forgive me for my hesitation and going random places in an area I'm not accustomed to.
That's perfectly fine. It is admirable to be cautious. It's kind of part of my job as well. But the person who wants to see you is the princess.
And why would the princess want to see me?
That you'll have to ask her. I didn't ask questions.
I haven't won a tournament yet.
Maybe she liked your butt.
Sorry?
She didn't say what she wanted. She just looked at me and asked if I could go retrieve you. She said she had something she wanted to talk to you about.
At this point, Kite kneels down, secures the kunai back into the tape of his shin guard, stands up with the cloth that hangs on his on the right from his belt and wipes off the glaive to get all the dripping blood off of there, and looks back at Beatrix. All right, lead the way.
She takes you back up, and you're not quite in the outer section of the royal box. It's visible to the people in the stadium as another fight is going on. You see, as you look quickly and you look out, you see two fighters going at it. One with a pair of sai, and another one who was wielding a bow staff. But you make your way past that and into a small room behind the royal box, sort of like we're going to retreat here and powder up and have a snack or whatever. You know how those are. And there's just one other person in the room, and you can surmise that this is Princess Arabella Legaris.
As he enters the room, not really know the formalities of the queendom because he's not from it. He does put his glaive out in front of him and sort of bows at one knee. Your Highness.
She smiles and goes, "Well, I appreciate the gesture, but that's not necessary."
Forgive me, I'm not really from an area of your rule, so I don't know what's here.
Understandable, and I appreciate the fact that you thought to show respect. It is welcome and understood, but it's not necessary. First of all, please have a seat. It's much more comfortable to have a conversation when we're all sitting in a comfortable environment.
Important question. What is the ground type here? Is it still the same Coliseum?
This is actually a stone room, a very carved, polished stone room.
Okay. Then he takes his glaive and goes and leans it up against the wall because obviously he can't stab it into the ground. And he takes a seat.
It's good. So, just it's going to be a little bit of a strange request, but
stranger than you requesting to meet me before the tournament is over?
Yes, because I'm going to request that you not finish the tournament.
May I ask why?
Yes, because I have a feeling that no matter what happens with this tournament, bad things are going to be on the horizon soon because the Duke is bound and determined to marry into the family, and I have a feeling if he doesn't win, then whoever does will not like what happens. And from what I've seen, just in your way of fighting, that's not a fate I wish to befall you. I do, however, wish to ask for your help.
Forgive me if I don't get right to the point for you, as Beatrix thought I would, but who exactly is the Duke?
Duke Ashton Greyfort, the man who rules over all of the Grand Duchy of Andaria, and an absolute slimy individual.
And what would be his excitement of marrying into the royal family when it's a queendom?
Well, not necessarily marrying, well, his son marrying in, but basically it's one of those things where he can claim I'm sick, hide me in a room, and basically be the figurehead ruler without having the title. It's a power move.
Okay, and Then what is your request from me? If you choose for me not to battle, to eliminate that possibility.
Well, like I said, I feel that no matter what happens, it will end up bad. And assuming that the Duke gets his way and ends up in the castle, I'll still have Beatrix, but we won't be able to do much from in there. But if we have people on the outside who can slowly and surely start to pull at threads and make it all fall apart, we can finally turn Legaria into a place that doesn't need to be segregated by place or who you are. We can finally, go make peace with the tribes who we alienated so long ago.
So you're asking me to just be a protector.
Not just for me, but for the world, for the realm.
And forgive me for being naive for you, but how do you know you can trust me?
I don't. But Beatrix tells me you can tell a lot about someone by the way they fight. And unlike most of the fighters in this Colosseum, you had the opportunity to kill your opponent, and you didn't. That's not something we see a lot of.
It is not our way to kill when there is no need to kill.
That's what she said. And that is why I think I can trust you.
I am sending something in chat for you to upload.
Alrighty, will do.
So with that, Kite sort of digs into a small little pouch that he has on his belt and starts pulling out this piece of cloth and reaches out with his hand. Princess, if you'd please give me your hand.
She looks, but doesn't hesitate and hands you her hand.
And he places this piece of cloth in her hand. This is the banner of my tribe. Let this be a promise from me to you that I will protect you and your kingdom as long as you may need.
She smiles and nods. And with this, I swear to not do any harm to you or your tribe, as long as it's within my power. Then she looks at you, and there is one thing I do need help with right now. It may just be me being worrisome, but we haven't seen my brother in over a day. He tends to go off and explore places like this just to talk with the people and mingle, but usually he comes back. We haven't seen him at all since he left yesterday. Him and Sakata said they were going down to the merchant district to talk with the people, to see what was being sold, to try some of the local cuisine, but they haven't come back yet.
There are shady people down in the merchant district, you know. Not all merchants are well-mannered. I mean, I swear I saw one that was selling Jell-O.
Yeah, rumor made it back here of that too. I don't know what this jello is, but anything that wiggles and jiggles as it goes down should not be something you would partake in.
It's wizardry. I swear it.
Yes. Maybe if you find him, you can arrest him too for that savagery.
So, Kite gets up, and I know NPCs don't have perception checks, but the princess would notice that the same emblem that's on the banner. I don't know if you.
I did.
And it's just not showing up for me. There we go. That same emblem is actually engraved on the metal armor on the breastplate that or not the metal part, the leather part of the armor on the breastplate that Kite is wearing.
Yep. At this point, before you go, Beatrix looks at you and goes, I don't know too much, but Sakata did mention that he heard that there's a place down in the Merchant District that has absolutely phenomenal food called the Sleepy Cat Inn. So maybe you could start your search there. I don't know.
Sleepy Cat Inn. And he just shakes his head as he walks out of the door.
Okay, we'll go back to Eagle Guard overview here, proper. And we come back to our Jello shot hawking gnome, who is currently making his way through the Merchant District.
Jello shots! Get your Jello shots!
You finally find what you're looking for. Reagan's reagents.
Are you, sir? Are you Reagan?
Well, you just find the store. You find the storefront. Do you try and go in?
Looking for Reagan. Yes.
It's closed.
Well, this will never do.
Make a perception check. You have a +4.
Yep.
14. 14 will do it. As you pull on the door, you look and you see a piece of paper that says, "Gone to lunch at the Sleepy Cat. Be back at some point."
This isn't helpful.
You do look around, though, and there is a place called the Sleepy Cat Inn right across the street.
Well, I guess we'll take a look and see if there's a sleepy cat there.
Well, as you walk into the Sleepy Cat, you don't necessarily see a cat right now. You do see a cat on the sign. But what you do see is a lively little halfling woman standing behind the counter. This is Lavina Weatherby. I see chuckling over there. Why do I see chuckling over there?
What? I like the name. Reminds me of Archie.
Oh, and she looks at you. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. We don't have any more. We don't have any rooms here. But are you interested in some food?
Maybe what you got?
Well, today currently we have hold on. Hopkins, what's on the menu tonight? And this head sticks out of the window you see for the kitchen. And this is Chef Hopkins.
I want to be on the menu tonight.
He reaches out. Well, it depends. Did you get any fish from the fishmongers, or are we stuck with the pheasant again? Hopkins, you know at the festival we have nothing. It's gonna be pheasant. Roast the pheasant, get the garlic, and call it good. He said, yeah, just grumble. Do we at least have... No, we don't have carrots, so stop asking me!
Would you like to buy some carrots?
You have carrots?
I do have carrots.
Roll me a luck check to see if you have carrots.
D20.
Just a straight D20, yep.
You're gonna hate me. That's a 20.
Then you have carrots. You absolutely... You just have to... You reach into your bag of holding and just pull out some carrots. Hopkins, we have carrots! And he just grumbles out, and you see him exactly like you see in the picture. He's got like a bandolier of garlic. He's got onions thrown over his shoulder. He's wielding a ridiculously oversized cleaver. Comes in, grabs the carrots. Thank you. She looks and goes, free food for you? You have friends? We feed your friends too. Free food? Chloe, do me a favor and make me a perception check.
Happily so. Let's see, perception. Oh dear. So how do I do this with? Oh, there it is. Normal roll.
Well, all you needed was a 5 because Lavina is loud and Russian. So you hear this lively woman talking about free food for friends. Apparently, we want to become famous. Another one. We're good today, baby. That's 3.
The Banhammers! The Banhammers!
Yeah. No, we don't want to become famous. We just want to feed people.
Hey, Nora. That's 2. That's 2 for me.
I got one.
Stone counts.
All right, mindless and Gimli.
For those watching on YouTube, we got 3 want to become famous bots in the chat. So, Chloe, you hear this ridiculously loud, over-the-top halfling woman talking about carrots and free food. And you hear Llewellyn, Miss, it's a very good point. I mean, I don't eat, but she's talking about free food. Maybe you could pretend to be that thing's friend. Just whatever you do, madam, don't get any stains on your shirt. You know what happened last time.
It washed out eventually.
Eventually. Do you know how long that took? I was afraid it would never come out.
Look, she said free food for friends, but I don't know that person, whoever she's talking to.
All of a sudden, you hear Llewellyn go, Ponzi, your passive perception hears this. You hear someone whistling like that.
Mm-hmm.
You look outside, and there you see a human girl holding or actually not even holding, the book. There's a book flapping its pages next to her flying, and the book is clearly whistling at you.
How much for the book?
He's not for sale, and you wouldn't want him.
Oh,
Why wouldn't he want me? I'm paper trained, miss.
I don't think he'd know what to do with you, Lou.
Sell him.
No offense, sir, but a student's salary doesn't afford much food, and I heard that your friends get to eat for free. Would I potentially be able to be your friend for this meal?
Talk to me about the book, and we might have a deal.
You hear? Go ahead. You're gonna be there. Oh, she's pretty human. She's definitely your friend. She could come eat with us. Hopkins, we got at least 2. Can you make food for talking book? What do you mean a talking book? Have you been drinking again?
He doesn't eat. He just chews the scenery. And she grabs Lou and closes it. As she walks toward the end.
You grabbed him as he was trying to gnaw on a street lamp.
This is going to be a thing with us.
Yeah. As this is happening, Kira.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm not even going to make you roll a perception check because this is ridiculous. You're heading down. You see the sign from the Sleepy Cat Inn. and you see a human woman with a book that is attempting to gnaw on a street lamp, and she just clamps the book shut and walks in. What do you do?
So Kira kind of stands there after having seen this. She kind of shakes her head. Is there anyone else outside, or?
I mean, the city is full of people, but no one that is really of consequence.
Well, yeah, but she wanted to look and say, "Did I just see that?" To somebody.
Yeah, he looks and goes, You mean Lavina? She does that all the time.
Okay. No, I meant the book flying.
Oh, you meant... Oh. See, I thought it was whatever that Jello shot that random gnome sold me, but if you saw it too, that must have been crazy.
Okay. So, she's gonna eye the entrance of this place. She's gonna sigh, and she's going to just walk in, in any way that she can, nonchalantly, to, again, not really be noticed by anybody with a book that attacked a pole.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, you have the most joyful, eccentric owner of an inn of all time with Lavina Weatherby. You walk in and she looks and goes, "Oh my! This must be our lucky day!" She goes, "Not only do we have guy with carrots, he bring in not one, but 2 friends!"
I'm not a friend of him.
She goes behind you, Chloe, and starts pushing you towards the table with Chloe and Ponzi. "No, please sit. Have roast pheasant. We have carrots and everything."
Wait, who's she pushing? You said Chloe.
You.
Said oh,
no, she's pushing. She's pushing Kira towards the table with Chloe
and
Ponzi. She is surprisingly stout for a small little halfling woman.
Yeah, Yeah, Kira knows enough to not mess with a small halfling woman. So, so she gets pushed to this table, she sits down, and she looks at both of you and is like, "Okay, I don't know you two."
She's apparently a little forceful.
Yes.
Kira, make me an insight check. We're all waiting patiently for the button. Button.
Cham?
Yeah, what's up?
You. It's Kiara.
Kiara, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said Chloe.
Oh dear, nice.
You're pretty sure you actually recognize the girl with the book. Or know who she is, anyway.
And the girl with the book actually makes it a lot easier for you, because after a second of recognizing it looks like makeup, because you have, like, hey, your ears. She immediately, like, reaches across the table and says, "Oh, Chloe Vesper, by the way. Pleasure to meet you."
Hello. She kind of shakes your hand.
I wasn't expecting to see one of you around here.
One of.
If I may ask, what are you doing?
She puts
a
hand up. She's like, "That's all right. It's kind of my business." What'd you say your name was again?
Right. Chloe Vesper.
Vesper. I thought that's what you said.
Yeah, I'm from the Wizarding College, over in, what was it? Argenti.
Cham, do me a favor.
Yeah, what's up? I have to warn you, my insight is terrible.
Good.
What? No, actually, it's actually okay. Normal, no advantage. I rolled a 12.
Okay, you definitely notice that Kira looks a little off kilter after you said your name the second time.
Did I say something wrong? I didn't mean to insult you.
No. Just no one really notices and reacts to me in that fashion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assure you that the interest is purely academic. I find your race to be just absolutely fascinating in a good way. There's just so much history and
It's great.
richness.
Can we not talk about this in such a public area?
It's
Oh, sir, what is this fine vial you have? And you look over, and there is now Lou standing on Ponzi's shoulder with a vial of some ridiculously opaque colored liquid.
Who is that?
that's Llewellyn in my book.
Please.
The what in your book?
Llewellyn. His name is Llewellyn. He's my book.
Oh, he's your book.
Yes.
Why is what?
At this point, Llewellyn puts that back, and now you're not sure how this happened. He's face down in the bag of holding, and you see two bookmarks flailing his legs. There's got to be invisible ink in here somewhere, madam.
We already have invisible ink.
I don't. But I have Jello shots.
What do you mean you don't have invisible ink? This has to be. And as he pops back out, he just throws 2 Jello shots in the air.
Oh no. Oh, I didn't learn Featherfall for this. I don't have it.
Hey, Lavina,
Yes?
here, drink 2.
And they go, and as Lou throws it, they hop into this land for Lavina. Ooh, and she doesn't do one at a time. She just takes them both and
I should catch them in the air, just ducked.
yep. Ooh, nobody ever has lemon. Lemon is great.
Well, that worked out remarkably well.
I have more.
How? That bag is so small. Wait a minute. Do I know what kind of bag that is? By the way,
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Roger, Dodger. Ah,
Nope, you don't have a clue. It's a bag.
sadness.
It's a bag.
Huh. That bag looks rather small to just be holding drinks in it.
Oh, there was plenty more than just shots in there, madam. But apparently, I got lost. I'm not sure how I got lost in a bag.
You got lost in a bag.
Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. What did you say your name was? Or did you?
I didn't. It's Puffins.
Puffis?
Someone finally in this town got it right.
What the heck? Wait, Puffins? Isn't that a penguin? I'm pretty sure I have information on that somewhere in here. And you see him start flipping open, and he pops open to a page of Puffins.
You're right. I don't want the book.
Like I said.
Why do you have that?
Me? The book?
Yes.
Oh, he was given to me as a gift.
I am not a that. I am a highly powerful magical artifact.
As a gift
And I
or
have
a
a name.
curse?
I said me.
As a gift or a curse?
A gift. Lou is a companion. He's a very eccentric companion.
Okay. Eccentric
but
is
he
a good name for it.
Can hold almost an infinite amount of knowledge.
You
Really?
look, and now he has manifested. He's folded a paper pirate hat, and he's taken a plastic drink sword from out of Puffin's bag, and he's pretending to be a pirate.
Lou, you're getting creases on your pages.
No! Quickly! Iron me out! Iron me out!
She takes Lou calmly and flattens him. This is what happens when we run around.
Kite! It is at this point you have made your way towards the Sleepy Cat Inn. You walk in the door, and you walk in, there's this desk with Lavina, and you can see into the seating area, and you immediately see a book pretending to be a pirate, freaking out and asking to have its pages uncreased. What do you do?
There's only one answer here.
Yeah,
Turn around and walk out?
probably.
Sort of peek around. Yeah, none of these are the prints. Pretty sure of that.
Yeah, Lavina, as you're looking around, Lavina looks. Ooh, are you here part of the tournament?
was.
You don't look like you lost. Wait, you said you were in the tournament. Fighters eat free this week anyway. Please come sit down. We have room at the table.
That table?
Yes, that table.
With them.
I mean, they're fine. I mean, that one's a little crazy, and that one has a magical bag full of alcohol.
What type of alcohol?
I don't know, but it was very good and lemony and jiggly.
Damn it, they were right. Don't you have like a bar I could sit at or something?
I mean, yes, but the problem with the bar is you'll have to sit and watch Chef Hopkins cook, and he gets very grumpy. I'm only grumpy because half the people you have sit at the bar are obnoxious. I mean, he's fine. He's going to be like the last fighter we had who sit at the bar, nice, tall, armor. I'm not sure who the kid who was with him is, some weird white-haired dork, but the fighter was great. Everyone go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Wee, knowledge. Wait. Oh.
Not me.
Nope. Chloe gets it.
That's how you spell kite? No, it sounds writing it wrong.
What was that, Nora?
Wait, what's the proficiency bonus mean?
It should be already added into your sheet. Basically, from levels 1 to 4, it's a +2 if you're proficient in the skill.
So it's already added in, then it's an 11 for me.
Okay. Chloe is the only one who gets this, and makes sense considering you were you've been to school in the city of Argenti. The description of the guy in the armor plus the quote little white-haired nerd. The little white-haired nerd is the prince, and the guy in the armor is Cicada, his bodyguard.
Oh, okay. So, I guess Chloe would speak up at that then, because she was kind of looking for the prince a little bit earlier. But you mean the prince was here?
You mean the prince was here?
You mean the prince was here?
When did he leave?
Madam, the prince was here. What are you talking about? And Lavina looks at us. He left yesterday. They ate at the bar, and his bodyguard. Something happened. He fell sick. Bodyguard is sitting upstairs in the room. We were told not to let him bother, but the prince said he was going to go find someone to help out, and we haven't seen him since.
At this point, Kite gets right back up off the stool he just sat on and runs up the stairs.
Just please don't disturb the other guests.
Kira's gonna stand up and she's going to try to sneakily follow without anybody noticing her.
I mean, Chloe's got laser eyes on you. So
you roll stealth with disadvantage. $18. Not. Yep. Chloe, roll a perception check.
This is gonna hurt.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Oh wow.
What's that mean?
Well, what that means is Lavina and Hopkins are arguing, so they don't see Kira go upstairs, but Chloe does.
So, Chloe, not knowing you're trying to be super sneaky, and she sees you kind of walk off. So, oh wait, I didn't fully apologize. And she tries to follow after when she sees you halfway up the stairs.
So that leaves Lou and Ponzi down in the bar, and Ponzi just looks and goes, "You can. How about this? I'll make a deal with you."
For sure, but
what? No. Lou flies down to Ponzi. Looks at Ponzi. Can I make a deal with you, sir?
I'm always game for a deal.
Good. Come upstairs. We'll make the deal up there. But I don't trust either of the two people who went up there with Madam, and I need someone who can at least potentially trust, and you're it.
I mean, you trust me, yes. Sweet.
So you all make your way into or at least Kite to start with makes his way upstairs. And it's pretty obvious which door is the one Sakata's in because it's the only one where the room is closed. And you come in, and I don't have a picture of a bedridden knight. I just have the picture of Sakata normally, so that's what you're getting.
Why are you here alone?
He looks. Something happened. And I tried to get word out, and I don't know if it happened. Who are you?
I'm looking for the prince. Why is his bodyguard not with him?
Because, like normal, he just came here to eat, and I ate first, and whatever was in there clearly was drugged, and he said he would go and bring someone back, and he didn't. I'm afraid that he ran off again like he tends to do to try and be the hero again.
Probably not the smartest idea. Probably should have had him eat where, you could trust the cooking, and if not, someone else would have watched him.
Not my finest hour, but he tends to be hard-headed about things, and at least he didn't get poisoned or whatever this is.
Oh, yeah, that's the bright spot of this, right? Do you have any idea where he might have gone? I'll go look for him.
How do I know I can trust you?
I'm sure if you went and asked the Princess or Beatrix, they'd tell you could.
I don't have the strength to fight with it, so that will work. I don't know where he might have gone, but we did overhear the cook talking with someone who mentioned the next shipment was delayed a bit, but they were waiting on the outskirts of town for it. Knowing him, that's where he went.
All right. Well, you should probably try to heal up, and as much as you probably disagree with this, head back to the castle. I think there's sort of a weird potions guy downstairs. You might be able to see if he has any panacea.
As you say this, you turn around. You're not going to see Kira because she's actually trying to hide, but Chloe and Llewellyn and Paphos are not quiet at all. And you turn around, and they're basically Scooby-Dooing the doorway, where it's Llewellyn on the bottom, Paffin's in the middle, and Chloe on the top.
He's telling to the whole look down.
Did you call me strange?
We didn't mean to eavesdrop.
Oh, I totally meant to eavesdrop, madam.
Lou?
What? You told me to be honest.
You all aren't helping your cause.
Have another
I don't
jello
really
shot.
know if we had a cause.
You're really not helping your cause.
Anyway, is there an adventure to be had? I do love a good adventure, madam. Can we go help?
What Lou is trying to say is, it sounds like that something dangerous might have befallen the prince, and I can't help but notice that you're alone. And I can't speak for everybody else present, but I might be able to at least assist you.
You don't think there's intention with me being alone?
Not that there's not intention, but at least perhaps it could be more beneficial to not be.
I must say, you would probably be a benefit to come along because you're much easier able to identify the prince, at least more so than I.
Oh, thank you.
What about you, master of wiggly potions?
I mean, saving a prince sounds like there's some money involved. I could, might be good for business.
Can you produce my first request of the panacea?
That's a tough one.
What kind of potions master are
You're
you?
a potions master?
Well, I just sold all of my wares, and I was looking for the alchemist place across the street. But they're not there.
You're
They're not
wearing
here either.
alcohol. I assumed you were a brewer of some kind.
I do have this. And pulls out a potion of cure wounds.
Well, there we go.
And we'll see if this works.
As he's getting ready to end it, I do say, and so help me, if it is more poison, you will be dead quicker than the knight here.
I rolled a 5. And where's my spell casting?
You don't have to. What is that? What'd you roll? A D8 there?
It's a D5. Or it's a D6, sorry.
No, for cure wounds.
For cure wounds, it's a D8.
Yeah, it's a D8 plus your spell casting modifier. So D8 plus 5.
Nice.
Because all you have to do is the button. See?
Oh, well,
So people who see what it does. So what'd you get total? 2 on the dice, so 7. So yeah, basically for the mechanical side of things, we are flavoring the artificer's spell or the alchemist spells as potions that he can either shove down your throat or throw at you.
Oh.
Taking a little inspiration from the Final Fantasy Tactics chemist.
Like it?
So
yes.
Yeah, you produce this cure wounds spell, potion, whatever you want to call it, and you use that. And well, I do feel better, but whatever this is going to take a little more than that. So. Oh, yes. Okay. If I'm able to make my way back to where we are staying, I will go there. Otherwise, I will remain here. Please make sure nothing happened to him.
We absolutely will, sir. She actually looks down to the side where Kira is, and she kind of looks back to the room. Kira, do you want to help too? Or I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think you gave her a name. Do you want to help too, or are you just going to follow? Yep. Oh, that was to you, OPT. Not sure if you could hear me. But... Oh, she asked if you wanted. She whispered, like, "Do you want to come too, or are you?" So, Chloe will just kind of like say, "Oh, okay." And we do have another blade to our name too, so we're not just entirely alcoholic potions masters and a fighter. And she points out to Kira.
Well, that's good. I think I could use some normalcy with that group.
So the four of you have the information from Cicada that he overheard Chef Hopkins talking with somebody about the shipment. So you can follow the directions to the outskirts of town. You can go try and confront the chef. What do you want to do?
Wait, so the chef had the information on what now?
They overheard the chef talking with somebody about their next shipment. I was just reiterating the information that you guys received from Cicada.
I'm definitely going down to talk to the chef on the way
Yeah,
out.
we want to gather information first. I think that would make most.
So you make your way down, and Lavina is busy. Lavina is busy. She was out in the street bringing people in, and you guys walk down. And Chloe, you see this. Lavina has pushed Marwina into the inn and is doting her. Oh, you must try. We got carrots and everything. And oh my god, this burger was amazing. And poor Marwina has to just deal with extremely eccentric Lavina right now.
Poor.
So you make your way down to the kitchen, and you see Chef Hopkins is in there chopping away. What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume. And
Fair.
Chloe, well, the information I'm guessing that Kite has. What are we looking for?
So Kite goes over to the bar, takes his glaive, and sort of pokes at one of the pots to make it ding. Get the chef's attention.
What, Lavina? Oh, you're not her. What are you banging my pots for?
Well, it seemed to get your attention before.
What do you need? Food's not ready yet.
When's your next shipment?
What are you talking about, shipment?
I mean, you must have supplies that come in, correct?
I mean, yeah, but Lavina does all of that. I wouldn't know anything about that. Even with all of y'all's passive insight, you know he's full of crap.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Maybe not for the restaurant. When's the next shipment?
He looks. Well, you want some?
No. But I do believe that one of your customers earlier may have been intrigued by your talk of this shipment. And, well, if anything happens to him, I may hold you personally accountable.
Make me an intimidation check with advantage. He looks and goes, look, I'm just the end guy. Look, we had some people come in, and they told us that they gave me some stuff. I'm out right now, but they told us to just to give it to put it in the meal of anyone who ate here who looked to be a fighter in the tournament. Look, they threatened to kill me and Lavina, and if we said anything, and they paid a pretty penny for me to do it, but and I can tell you where they are. That's about what I can do.
Out of character. Does Kite immediately surmise who would have been behind that?
No. He can assume, like, based on the information, the conversation you had with the princess, you can
make the inference.
Yeah, you can make the inference, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, we need to know where the shipment is.
he gives you precise directions as to where he would end up going to pick up the shipments. It's a little enclave camp on the outskirts of town. Still within the city walls, but someplace out by the bash that no one goes.
Kite looks over at Chloe. Are you sure you're ready for this?
Chloe takes one look at herself, and then you see a blue glow from her hand as she casts mage armor on herself. And you see that she becomes a little bit more sturdy as she kind of has an ephemeral glow about her. And she nods. I think we can handle it.
He looks over at goodness, Nora, what's her character's name?
Puffin?
Yes.
Yeah, he looks over. I'll give you 30 silver for this job. 50 if you don't screw anything up.
Deal.
Why don't I get paid?
Do I get to use the boom?
By the way,
as he says, deal, he is. Do I get to use the boom boom juice?
that would be
Madam,
screwing stuff up.
Madam, he has boom boom juice.
No drinking for you, Lou.
You never let me have any fun, madam.
Trust me, the bribe was more for him not screwing stuff up and less for him coming with. And then Kite calls over to Kira. We're getting ready to leave. Are you coming?
So when you look over at her, she's actually got like a dagger in her hand, and she's doing the on board flipping it kind of a thing, in the air. And she, after you look at her and say that, she just kind of nods, sticks a dagger into her, like wherever she keeps these things, and then just it walks over and just looks like she's indicating she's ready to go. A lady, a few words.
So as the five of you, the four in the book, walk out of the Sleepy Cat Inn, you start to put it behind you as you make your way towards the bash. And just before you get out of earshot, you hear Lavina yelling, "What do you mean they left without eating?" And that's where we'll end our session. So thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of Chameleon Ice, Crimson Havoc, Snow Racer, and OPT Lawyer, I am your Dungeon Master, TGE, reminding everybody to, of course, as always, keep hailing.